Hello, welcome to Easy Peasy Gardening. I'm Iona, and today I'm going to show you how to plant carrot seeds. We're here in the allotment. It's a little bit cool, but it's April now. It's near the end of April, so it's a good time to put your seeds in the ground. Now, in the allotment, I have a little plan of where I'm going to put all my vegetables, all the little patches. So we draw out where each vegetable goes, and it allows you to rotate them. Every 3 years is good. You don't have the same vegetables in the same place each year. Now, what we do is we've dug the ground. You pop your spade in like that, and you just turn it over the once, chop it up, take any weeds out, and then you rake your ground. And your soil should be nice and crumbly. It shouldn't stick together. This is good soil in Aberdeenshire. Now, the row of carrots we're going to have, they're in a straight line. And to give you a straight line, if you just have a piece of string and you wind it round a couple of sticks, and that gives you a nice straight line for all your vegetables. You can have it different lengths. And then what you do is you make a drill for your seeds. I use the corner of this. You can use that, the end of it, just a little drill. And you just run it down your string, like that. Now tonight we've got carrots here. It's Autumn King. So they're quite a fine seed. I'll let you see them. Quite small. There you go. So I'm going to put them in fairly finely, just into the ground, and make sure your hands are dry for this.
Will I get a close-up of this?
Yes, if you want to come closer. Okay. Make sure your hands are dry for this and it's not too windy or they'll blow away. Keep your hand tight and just pop them in like that, quite thinly for carrots, because you don't want to be having to thin them out too often. That's adequate. The reason you don't want to thin them out too often, it means that I put this fleece over it. It's horticultural fleece, and I put them over the carrots. You lie them loosely and you put either a piece of wood or some stones to hold it down, and remember to loosen it to allow your carrots to grow. But the water goes through, the rainwater goes through that, so it's not a problem with watering. Also, you cover your seeds up very gently, just all the way down. You could do that with your hoe rather than your hand. Some people pat them down, some people rake them and whatever, but I just leave them like that. Now what I'll do next, pop a label on them, what your variety is, and that's you. Now I'll give it a drink just now, give them some water, and you really just need to run it up. I just do it twice for seedlings because that's all they need.
Is there a better time of the day to plant seeds?
If
you can repeat that question so that people
Yes, any time of the day you can plant your seeds.
Okay.
The thing is, as long as it's not too cold, March for things like carrots and that, it's just a little bit cold. So I'll tell you what you can plant just now.
In the UK, I mean, when should you be planting carrots?
Well, April, as I say, usually the end of April.
Okay.
So other things you can plant just now are parsley. I'll talk slowly so you can hear me. Turnip, parsnips, you can put straight in the ground if you're down south. But I've done a video on parsnips and I grow them in little plugs first. because up north they just would not germinate until ages, like maybe July or something. Spinach can plant just now. Peas, broad beans, lettuce, spring onions, beetroot, kale, coriander, and some of your herbs and fennel. Your leeks, they go in a bit later. Start them off in the greenhouse in a pot. You could start them off March and then wait until I would say May to put in your leeks, until it's a bit warmer, mid-May, because it's still very cold. Putting leeks in just now is just a little bit cold. And the same with your runner beans. My runner beans don't sometimes go in until June because it's so cold up here. But all the other things can go in. Just remember to, dig your soil, rake it, mark it with your string, sow and then cover your seeds, water, and then remember to keep them well weeded. Now, I was going to talk about rabbits. As you see, we've got a net here around the allotment, a green net. Now, that was put up for several reasons. You can see the sea there, that's the North Sea, and it's very cold. So that keeps the wind off the vegetables, the net. It also keeps rabbits out. The main reason I did it, there was one of the allotment holders had dogs, so I felt I had a little girl at the time, so I felt at the time it was safer to have the child sort of in here safe.
How far does the net go? Does it go under the ground?
The net's, well, it's pinned to a piece of wood at the bottom.
Okay, so it's actually stapled down.
Yes, and it's got poles. As you can see, they're not very straight, that's my doing. But if you were doing them properly, you would obviously have a spirit level, make sure they're straight. The reason they're squint, there's so many stones here in the allotment. But you can see we've edged our beds with stones. You can use wood to edge your bed, or you can use various other things. Sleepers, some people use railway sleepers. But generally speaking, the nets will keep rabbits out. That's the main thing. If you're doing a garden and you're out in the countryside somewhere, the surest fate you'll have rabbits, and they just devastate your vegetables and everything else, your flowers too. So if you want to protect them from rabbits, this is a good thing, the net. Or if you can't manage that, even a piece of chicken wire, but it has to be that height and quite a small gauge. Because if you have a large gauge, even the baby rabbits can get in through it. So chicken wire is good. If you're putting chicken wire alone, you would have to obviously put it maybe a little bit into the ground as well to stop them burrowing underneath. But generally speaking, that's it. But all your seeds will go in at this time of year, and then after they're in, some of them you'll have to thin them out. Some of them you may have to put things like lettuce and broad beans. You might have to put a few slug pellets, especially if you live by the sea.
Okay.
We do have a lot of slugs here. Some people go around at night and pick them up, the slugs. But
we've planted carrots today.
Yes.
And it's near the end of April. When will they be ready to pick?
They'll be ready probably July, August.
Okay.
You get small carrots, so I can thin them out. But I thin them out when it's a breezy day, because the carrot fly comes in, and if it lays its eggs, it's actually the eggs that start to eat the carrots. So that's another reason that we rotate our vegetables. I'll cover these with fleece after, and that'll stop any carrot fly. And if I do thin them, I don't tend to thin them, I just leave them to come, and I just pick and thin. But it's up to yourself. You can thin them out and it means you get bigger carrots. But generally speaking, that's it. So thank you for coming to Easy Peasy Gardening, and I do hope you subscribe. That would be kind. Thank you very much.
What, have you got any ideas for the next video?
For the next video, I think the next video you will all see me in the summertime out of my old dark gear, and you'll see me with all the blossoms around me. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Bye.